Okay, let's start. Let's start. Thank you, everyone. A warm welcome to you all for joining us live. Uh, AI has been has been around for some time now. ChatGPT was launched on 30th of November 2022, and since then there has been a flurry of AI platforms and tools. Create videos for creative writing, finance, coding, a whole host of things. There's a lot of apprehension and there is a lot of excitement as well. What holds in the future for sales capability? So we've created this three webinar series to answer exactly that, to answer what unfolds in the future for sales capability building. The first webinar today is all about understanding the various stages of sales capability building. The second will be about the evolving roles of all of us. And the third will be about how do we solve for the chronic problems that have plagued us for time immemorial. So with me today for this webinar, I have my co-panelists. Let's say a quick hello to both of them.
Hi.
My name is Jawahar and founder CEO of Streams. Over to you, Ravi and Roger.
Hi, Ravi from Mercuri, India.
Hi, and I am Roger Lehman, and I'm a professor at INSEAD and MIT, and spent 15 years in Singapore.
Cool. So what do we have in store for you? We will play this like a symphony amongst us, passing the baton seamlessly. So if there is a baton drop, please bear with us. But it is live and it's going to be exciting. So what do we have in store for you today? We will try and answer what are the key transformative enablers that Agentic AI brings home. There's sales, the expert amongst us all. Ravi will tell us what it is to make it happen on the ground in the earlier era and in the new era. We dive deep into the evolutionary stages of capability building, and then we'll round off the session today, the webinar today, with Ravi and Roger, leaving the leaders with some takeaways. So, all of you who are here today, thank you once again for being here. But let's get this symphony started. Let's start playing the music right away amongst all of us, which includes all of you. So we will be there asking you to give us thumbs up, asking you to pitch in through the chat bot, and we will open up also towards the end to get feedback from you. So what are the biggest challenges that you face today in sales or people? Let's get the room a little warm. Make some noise. Tell us what it is.
Send your messages on the chat box, friends. If you're a sales leader, what are the challenges you face today in sales? And if you're in learning and development, what are the challenges you face in terms of people? Happy to have your answers on the chat. And you can send the chat to everyone. And the great advantage of a chat is in the virtual world, everybody can think parallelly without being restricted and send the answers in the chat box. Take about 10-15 seconds and send the answers in the chat box. Yes. Confidence of the reps. Oh, yes. Absolutely true. I think there are enough forces in the world to reduce the confidence of the reps on the field. Some people, of course, overcome it nicely. All right, waiting for some more answer. Oh, yes, Pavan. How to get leads? Okay, forget about warm leads or cold leads. Even getting leads is a challenge. I wish leads can drop every morning on our tables very nicely on their own. I wish it happened. Doesn't happen, yes. Oh, Jugal talks about complexity of the sale and the solution, yes. And sales always was much earlier era, fairly linear, fairly straightforward. Now the contours of the sales complexity have increased. More variables, multiple variables, local, domestic, international, cross-border, people, competition, perspectives, requirements. Yes, Plenty of challenges, yes, absolutely. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to give any more interesting insights on that? Right. Not able to negotiate, says Power. I missed it actually. Yes. Yes. I wish we could walk into negotiation. The customer says, tell me how much. I can pay you a little more also, right? It happens nicely, no never, right? Sales team complete understanding of the situation. Oh, yes. Understanding the situation, the context they're in, the various people, the players, their drivers, their motivation. Oh, yes. And it's not easy. Samantha talks about sales reps adapting to competitor launcher. Suddenly you hear a product coming from somewhere. Those days, life was quite simple. Today, anyone can be a competitor. Need not be from the same industry, of course, today. Yes. Motivation and performance from Hesham. Oh, yes. I think how to keep people constantly motivated. I wish there was something available in Amazon to buy every week and distribute to people. No. Getting price change after a few years of supply. Oh, yes. Nobody wants to give a price increase, Omar Shankar, you're right. Okay. Give me leads, I will sell. Don't ask me to get leads. Yeah, give it to me in my pocket. Yes. Alexander Lambic, very nice. AI-driven tenders. Oh, yes. How to embrace it because we can't say no and be ahead of the human dimension. Very nicely put, Alex. Very nicely. Effective handling of objections. Okay. Both non-price and price, keeping them up the curve on the latest changes. Knowledge is available, but is it always on the edge in each one person's mind? Yes, I think there are plenty of challenges. I'm sure we can go on and on. Very rightly so, you are right. Absolutely.
We pick it up then from here on. Very, very nice. Very, very nice engagement over here. Thank you very much for all your
Continuous training.
top
Yes.
of the mind thoughts. Let's see how we can address them with the three of us. And as I said, keep this chat box active. Keep your fingers on the keyboard. We will ask for suggestions and we will ask for your reactions as we go along. Okay, so let me chug on and so what take the first step. So when we talk about agentic AI, what are the key dimensions that will help us unlock? We talk about paradigm shift. We talk about there is something very, very different. But unless and until we understand at the fabric level, at the foundation level, what are these enablers going to do, then you would be able to project out the future scenario. Obviously, there is a lot for us to digest, but it always goes down to the first principles. So let's look at the first principles from a sales capability building point of view, right? So we have all been aware of uh, wide range. We have all been aware of the fact that when we talk about capability building, it is in a cohort, it is in a class, it is in a group that we go and disseminate whatever we need. That's been the paradigm so far. We've all gone through an education system which has been classroom oriented, which has been group oriented. But many of us, while going through that system, have also gone for personal tuition, wherein there has been a one-on-one attention by a teacher to an individual. This is fundamentally going to be possible with agentic AI, because you not only will be able to know exactly what the person knowledge gaps are, but after having known the knowledge gap at the moment in time, at the convenience of that individual, plug those knowledge gaps. This is a huge opportunity. So the first one. Second, we have all gone through a very broadcast kind of a paradigm, which is when you tune your radio or you tune your TV for a particular program, you get it at a particular time, and then it is a session for an hour or so. Internet comes, video became on demand, video became continuous, video became always on. This is the second big shift that agentic AI will enable us. to be able to do from a capability building point of view. Now, when you have so many signals and something that is always on, can you imagine the unimaginable, which is that when you are looking at a review, you are looking post that event. It's a post-mortem. The event has passed, and with limited amount of information, you diagnose what went wrong. And then the corrective metrics you put into the next cycle or the cycle after that, right? So you've lost a cycle or two before the corrective methods can be put in practice. Now, if something is continuous and always on, the beauty is you would exactly know what is going wrong and in real time be able to correct, course correct, and be able to get the month before the month closes, get your sales numbers in place. No more losing out, right? So that's it, from being reactive to being proactive and ultimately also being predictive with a flurry of data and flurry of insights that come through. With all this, we will go much beyond the traditional metrics of attendance, how many people attended the class, of completion, how many people completed the course, of pre and post course, or pre and post after the session, before the session. Obviously, you've loaded them with knowledge at the session. So post will obviously be very, very high and nearly 100%. These are the traditional KPIs that we have been looking at on a continuous basis. They do not tell the readiness levels of an individual today because the scores were 3 months back on a topic which was spoken at that point in time. People may have forgotten, very likely. So, how do you ensure that you have readiness, which is an always on readiness and always on metric? So, I hope you're getting the drift. Give me a thumbs up if you are, right? So, from being a passive system, from being a group, a cohort led system, from being a time specific system to a continuous paradigm. Obviously, the KPIs will have to keep track to be able to do that. When you are able to do this and when you are able to see this, what happens? Capability building finds new respect, big respect, because just like direct sales, just like direct marketing, you will be able to attribute the effort that has been put in directly to the sales results coming in. It's a newfound respect for the function, and it will soon be elevated to being a very strategic business driving function. That is what we are all looking at from this point of view. But, interestingly, will all this happen overnight? It won't. Let's look at history and let's go far away to something very non obvious, which we take for granted today. Let's take the point wherein steam engines were the prime movers in factories. So, steam engines, given their sheer scale and size, could be only one. And this one prime mover, through an overhead shaft of belts and pulleys, was powering multiple machines on a shop floor. Then comes the electric motor. Give me a quick, quick, quick comment on what happened when the electric motor came. Quick, what happened? I'm watching the chat. Anyone? Okay. When the electric motor came, it actually transformed the prime mover aspect. But what it did not do was it did not move the shaft, right? So let me quickly get this transition going. Many a time it gets stuck. Okay, so the electric motor replaced the steam engine, but the processes were the same on the factory floor. So it is very much similar to the classroom, wherein the teacher teaching the students, and now with digitization 20 years back when learning management systems came in, The processes continued, the metrics continued, and we are living it. Then comes a huge tech leap in terms of miniaturizations of motors, wherein you could attach each motor to a machine. And that's where you start seeing the personalization aspect. That's when you start seeing the real productivity, speed, and agility. So, how does it all translate into sales? Let's look at how to make sales happen.
Yes. How do you make sales happen? How do you make, I mean, it's three simple words. I think that's what each one of us as sales leaders are expected to. Just make it happen week after week, day after day, month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. How do you make sales happen? Sales is hard. The salesperson is a lonely person on the street, trying to find leads, trying to convert, handling competition, sweating it out, handling internal challenges is a hard job. I've been a salesperson for now 49 years now. If I'm born again, I'll probably the only thing I'll do is again sales. Sales is hard. Unfortunately, most people don't give that importance of, at least empathize with the hard work of a salesperson. He's a lonely guy in the marketplace, struggling to get things done. And when he comes back to the office, everybody's going to ask him, have you got the order? And why the hell haven't you got it? Sales is hard. Sales is really hard. The sales leader's job, handling this bunch of salespeople in this tougher world, new world, changing world, competitive world, dynamic world, unpredictable world, is even more harder as well. Sales is hard, and it is certainly very hard as well. And therefore, the sales leader has an unenviable job of doing two things. One, he has got to achieve today's results, he or she achieve today's results by using the available resources. If a sales leader goes and asks the team, the management, give me more resources, give me some more resources, what is the answer? He or she gets it. Can you send a quick message on the chat box? What is the answer? He or she gets it. I want some more resources. Yes. I want some more resources. I hear something called I followed up. I love that. I'm going to come back to you, Sanjeev. Yes. Okay. You're putting excuses. No budgets. Absolutely. All right. You're putting excuses. In fact, the answer is build some revenue, get some profit, then I'll give you some resources. The resources come first or the revenue come first is always a dilemma. Therefore, achieve today's results by using the available resources. And I think the important part is to develop the resources to achieve tomorrow's results. To develop the resources to achieve tomorrow's results. It's not just asking for more resources, but to develop the resources. So a two-pronged job, role, whatever you call it, doesn't matter. Achieve today's result by using the available, develop to achieve tomorrow's results. Tell me, friends, between the two, what is always done more often and what is left out? Is A is done more often or B is done more often? Send me a quick answer on the chat box. What is done more often? Is A is done or B is done? A. Sanjeev says, Rakesh says yes. Because I got to survive for today, right? I can't just wait for things to happen tomorrow. So I always focus on A. It's very difficult to be. But unfortunately, life is not linear. And we don't know value for B. I think lovely, said Rakesh. Yes, absolutely. Take 3 months time, 4 months time. Don't worry about results. After that produce, I'm ready to wait. Nobody says that in the world. And today, it's come down from what it was, even to shorter time span as well. Okay, that's where the world is. So it's tough job. It's tough. We always tend to do A. They seem to be also conflicting. I always have a choice to choose A. It's conflicting. So I use the word seem very consciously. I think the era of agentic will reduce that quote unquote seem. It's not going to be conflicting. The leader doesn't have the time to do both. He can do only one. He can't do, and therefore the choice is always A. Doesn't have the time to do as well. Sadly, the urgent always drives out the important. Like you said, A, all the time. It always drives out the important. Time immemorial, I've seen it over years and decades. But he wants see, she wants help. can I do both? Because I got to do. I can't wait for tomorrow to come and start thinking about it, because by the time it'll be today. Isn't it true? Therefore, I got to do something today for tomorrow. Yes. So needs help and wants it. Therefore, it's not a question of lack of awareness. Not that I don't know. I know, but I don't know how to do it. I need some support. I need some help. I need some system. I need some simple process. I need to have an effective way of doing it as well. So it is a hard job. Sales is really, really hard. And I can say it's a hard function because you've got to convince someone, make the person buy again and again, come back in the organization and try to tell people, my God, how tough it was, and nobody believes it so easily, right? Sales is really hard. It's really hard. But leaders are here. You and I are here to do the hard job, isn't it true? If you and I are not required to do the hard job, you and I won't be the leader. Like somebody said in a very nice thing, leadership is bearing the pain, taking the heat, and saying nothing but doing the job. And it's not going to be easy at all. Leadership is to do the hard job. And with the kind of changes that's happening in the world, as we spoke a little while ago, the dramatic shift, the world was always changing. It's not the world is changing only today. I think in my father's time, the world was changing. My grandfather's time, the world was changing. I think the difference today is change is incredibly faster, number one. I think the speed of change. Second is, we don't know where change will come, in which direction it will come from. I think that's number two. And second is, we don't know from who it will come from. It need not be. Earlier, I could predict. And lastly, earlier, change gave us some little time to prepare. It's like saying that I'm coming after an hour, get ready. Today, I'm landing and I'm not ready. So, pace of change is dramatically changed. The contours have changed and the direction has changed. It's like a wind blowing suddenly, and therefore I'm left last completely. With that, there are 5 critical shifts, or 6 actually, to happen. To move from randomness to order of a certain magnitude. You can't have a perfect order in the world. Nature has it, people say so. Order of a certain magnitude we must achieve. Moving from just today to tomorrow as well. Tomorrow will anyway come. That's the only thing I always tell, we can't stop it. We can't stop tomorrow. Is there anyone who can stop tomorrow? I'll be happy to listen to that person so that I can have some more of today, or some more time at least. Absolutely. Individual based, which is important. Sales requires heroes, of course. We need more heroes, no doubt about that. But to move away from individual based to a well-developed and a performing system, something which keeps driving at least a certain degree nicely as well. If it's completely individual, the leader's job is very, very hard as well. Predictability is tough. Nothing is perfectly predictable in the world. As I always say, a forecast is accurate after the event more often. But having said that, we must be able to anticipate. We must be able to steer. If I can't anticipate, I can't steer. Like driving on the road. If I can't anticipate, I can't change the direction of the car. If I wait for it to happen, anticipate and steer. Moving from what happened to, hey, what is likely to happen? What do I do? How do I prevent it? How do I direct it? We all must have hopes. Life is full of hopes. But if we can't manage by hope, we really cannot manage by hope. We've got to steer through support. We've got to steer through support. I think that is a big, big deal. So these 6 shifts, they're important. But can they do it in a simple way? No. And that's where the need to build a sustainable sales engine. An engine has to work irrespective of whether outside. An engine has to work irrespective of the terrain. The car has to go on the road irrespective of the road. Maybe a little slow, maybe a little fast, but it has to go. I can't keep adjusting the engine every few seconds. That is not an engine. An engine should work fairly, automatically, and well as well. In a simple way, if an engine has to work, the engine must sustain the challenges. That means the engine must become absolutely capable. So look at sales capability evolution as well.
So taking it on from there, let me jump in with describing the 5 stages that we see of sales capability evolution. Now, just to ensure that we have some method to the madness, what we've done is we've taken a deep look at 6 dimensions. And these 6 dimensions are displayed here. The dimensions are first and foremost is what kind of practices does an organization deploy? Does it have the regular inductions? Do they do new product trainings and refreshers? How frequently do they do them? Are there any certification programs? And so on and so forth. So those are the practices. Then comes the content. How does the content get created? Who formulates it? Who sends it? What is the role of third parties? How delayed? Is there any lead time required? And is the content being available exactly when you need it, much in advance or much later? Right? Then there's operations. So at the end of the day, you may have your assets, but you don't put it into practice in terms of diligent processes in which there are multiple stakeholders. If you have a very large frontline facing organization, then you have a field team leader, then you have regional team, and all the way rolling up to the headquarters. What are the roles? What are the frequencies? What are the cadences that are deployed in your operation? Manager empowerment. If a KPI is cascaded down to the front line, to the last man standing, if their team leaders and managers are not empowered or enabled with the right tools, it will be very difficult to achieve. The transformation needs to happen through the change makers who are the people who are on the ground and who are the ones who are driving the change on the ground. At the end of the day, are you measuring exactly what you need to measure? Are you able to attribute the effort that is being put into the result? And that's where the metrics come in. And how are the learners getting supported? Of course, the manager. Is there peer support? Is there mechanism for communities? What are the various dimensions? So as we move along the capability evolution, we've dissected the stages, we've filtered these stages, we've seen these stages across these 6 dimensions. So let's take a look. So the first stage is all about a reactive firefighter. When a company is very new, it starts the game, and that's when products are new. Over a period of time, people start formulating programs, and then it starts getting into systems. It gets into the systematic developer stage. Note the word developer because this progress is continuous and it is continuous happening. And then you come to a big one, the data optimizer. Finally, the smart sales engine. Now, what I would like to draw your attention to here is the gradients of colors in each of these boxes. This is deliberate. The gradient from one box flows to the other box deliberately, stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2 to stage 3. There is a large overlap between stage 1, stage 2, stage 2, stage 3. But you see a discrete jump between stage 3 and stage 4. Once again, there is an overlap between stage 4 and stage 5. I have drawn your attention to this aspect. I will draw your attention once again when I talk about stage 4 later on. So please keep this in mind. There is that discrete. Okay? So let's go and deep dive and understand what the reactive firefighter stage is. This is a very early days of any organization. When companies are generally take an example of a medical devices company. One big device, one big machine, one big equipment that they need to sell. And early days, sales is developed, marketing is developed, products are imported possibly, and then you start the day when you want to go to market and launch the product. When you want to launch the product, you are thinking about training, and ensuring that your sales guys, and you may not even have a full-fledged sales team at that point in time, right? So most people are double hatting. At that point in time, content, of course, is available through the marketing, through the product. The product managers themselves or the marketing managers themselves double up, go and train. So these are extremely early days. A lot of double hatting, a lot of great frenzy, a lot of great excitement. But you can't do it time and again, time and again. The system is overstretched. People are doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs at any given point in time, right? But there is seeming to be a good effect in terms of making this happen. So what happens is naturally you transition to looking at how do you build programs. Now my my product portfolio is expanding. I have the second and third and the fourth machine to start selling. I am now looking at doing this as a process, as a program, that every new product comes in, I will need to start training. Every new hire comes in, I will need to start training. And this is where you start building programs. And that's what the nature of this stage now is when you start looking at program builder stage. You also start embarking on digitization by getting learning management systems and driving all this forward. But it is still an emerging structure. So there is a great and a high dependence on external partners, vendors. There is a great dependence on stakeholders and various functions within the company. But nevertheless, since training as a function has been instituted, has been established, this lone warrior or wolf or a few people who've been made in charge are now looking at stabilizing things to ensure that this becomes a repeatable process. And naturally, over a period of time, the program builder stage transitions into stage 3 to do the system developer. But let's take a look at what has moved. Your practices have started moving better. Your content creation has started getting much more diligent, right? Your operations are becoming better, but your manager empowerment still isn't there because you've been focusing on the top 3. Metrics are still isn't fully baked in because the diligence is not in place yet, right? So there are elements which need focus. Now, as we move in the stage 3, the systematic developer board, you will start seeing that the programs are becoming more formal. Programs are becoming uh, measurable, repeatable. There is a rhythm to it. Whenever there is a new product launch, you will know that, okay, within a week of the product launching, I need my entire team nationally to be aware of. Within a person joining within X amount of weeks, let's say within 2 weeks, I want the person to be inducted thoroughly well. May not happen on day one, but can happen over a period of time. Now, now the vendors are still in place. The department is now better resourced than earlier, but instructor-led training is the predominant mode of delivery, be it online or be it offline in the class. With this, you start seeing new challenges emerge. And these new challenges emerging are now, since you've been given a greater budget and you started seeing more regularity of your efforts, people start asking, what is the impact you're making? Because when the managers and sales managers are visiting the field, they soon realize when they ask the sales guy on the front line that he doesn't know much. And so then the entire effort of the training endeavors starts getting questioned, right? So that's where proving the ROI becomes very critical. And what kind of metrics are available? Has the person attended? Has the person completed? But that does not take into account whether he still remembers. That does not take into account whether he's confident after that 1 or 2 sessions that he has, right? So that's where the throwback and the pushback starts happening. On the LMS, low engagement. You realize that people have switched off their video and doing their own work and whatever it is, right? So at the end of the day, when we need to actually diagnose most of it is post-mortem. And you look back, it is a very retrospective view. You diagnose to actually correct things, but then the corrections are put in place in the next cycle or the cycle after. And that's where a lot of time is getting lost. Now, guys, give me a thumbs up if you relate to this. Most of the organizations across the world, across industries, seem to be in this state. If this is relating, if this is relatable, yes, I see a few thumbs up coming up. The third, fourth, thank you. And now, if this is what we are at today, what is stage 4 and what is stage 5? Despite the fact that we have moved in terms of practices, because now the systematic, it's become systematic. Content is better. Operations are more diligent. In fact, only thing that we can take great pride in is that the military style execution and discipline of the operation. Every month something is happening. Every month monthly assessments are happening. But the key question is how many people participate, how many people take. So as the training community from a central point of view, we do our effort, we do our stuff, but it needs to actually pull people to that activity. And that is the big challenge of engagement. So how do we solve that? This gets solved in stage 4. Remember, stage 3 was all about group, classroom, instructor-led, traditional KPIs, session-based. Stage 4 onwards, it's all about continuity. It's all about being personal. It's all about being sharp by AI. So the moment that the miniaturized electric motors came in, draw that parallel to what AI will do for capability building. And this is exactly that leapfrog in tech that you will start seeing everywhere. Can you imagine? A person forgets, but he does not know what he has forgotten. The agent algorithms can detect what the person has forgotten and what the person needs, therefore, a refresh on. This is not science fiction. This is possible today. There are some companies who are already doing this. So, at the end of the day, if something is continuous, just like your social media feed, whenever you go, you find new stuff. Whenever you go, there is something in it. And that is what has driven the daily ritual, the daily behavior. Imagine learning to become like that. Imagine Gen AI to be able to craft content in a continuous stream. That is what will make the change happen. Imagine the person being handheld exactly when he wants it or she wants it, not necessarily in a learning platform, but it could happen in their Salesforce automation system. It could happen in the lead management system. It could happen anywhere. It can be ubiquitous in the flow of work seamlessly. And if there is so much data flowing through, you see so many real-time sharp signals. What is it that we are doing? Remember that program mindset that has been honed in the previous stages, that is still going to come into effect and will become an asset over here. Because now, by creating programs that have multiple more variables in your control, you will be able to create iterative loop to optimize and predict outcomes. And that's the power that the data-driven optimizer label with stage 4 is going to look like. Give me a thumbs up or give me some claps if this resonates and if you guys are finding this exciting. Isn't the future going to be exciting? Thank you. Now, stage 5. What is stage 5? Stage 5 is the ultimate, the smart sales engine. You have almost a near autonomous movement. Gaps are getting detected, gaps are getting plugged. Human is in the loop to ensure that AI is not misbehaving. Okay, human is in the loop to drive strategy. Human is in the loop to guide the agent to be able to do what they need to. The agent is your genie. When you want it, you can put it in the bottle. And when you need it, you open the cap, rub the bottle, and instruct it whatever it needs to do. It will do. So that is the power of the human in the loop. Now, with this, when everyone is always ready, from the front line right up to the headquarters, through the hierarchy in between, getting real time systems, real time alerts. Actually, the agent is monitoring alerts, looking for outliers, and it is suggesting corrective actions to the human in the loop, to you, to the capability building team. Okay. So the roles of the capability building manager, which we cover in the second webinar, are just going to evolve. Look at the 6 dimensions. Obviously, nothing can be 100% ever. You will always have new practices open up. You will always have new content paradigms, and you will always have more manager empowerment and support. So there are some of these elements which I have intentionally shown not to be 100% because there will always be a better tomorrow. There will always be things that you can do better. Okay? Now, with this, I would like to show you how the agentic future looks like. This reality is not very far away. So, I would like to, I would like this video to be played now, Pankaj, if you can.
It's a regular Monday morning. Suddenly, Clara, the AI agent, detects something critical. A major competitor has just launched a new product targeting their key accounts. She immediately alerts the capability manager. Without hesitation, he instructs Clara to create battle cards, FAQs, and a product refresher, highlighting their unique strengths to counter the competitor's narrative. Within minutes, Clara has everything ready. The capability manager reviews the materials, approves them, and publishes them as streams across the entire sales organization. Now, Sarah, another AI agent, swings into action, notifying every sales rep instantly about the new competitive intel. At the same time, Flora alerts the team leaders in the field and starts tracking live completion status across all teams. An hour passes. Sarah checks back with the reps. For those who haven't paid attention yet, she sends a stern reminder: get prepared. The competitor attack is real. As sales reps complete their learning, Sarah launches an assessment to test their knowledge. Those who pass qualify for the next step, where in a live practice session, Sarah coaches them on perfecting their pitch. Throughout the day, Pulse scores update in real time, showing exactly who's ready and who needs more support. Before the day ends, most reps are fully prepared and ready to face the competition. Clara compiles a comprehensive report with a region-wise breakdown of readiness levels. The capability manager proudly shares the results with leadership. They review the numbers and breathe a sigh of relief. The team is ready. Crisis averted.
Let me take back the share again. So did it make sense? A lot of manual work that we all go through is averted. That is your stage 5, but most of this reality will start getting projected within the stage 4 itself. So that's what we are talking about. Now, quickly open your chats and tell us where exactly you feel your organization is. In which stage of evolution today is your organization? There could be somebody in stage 4 as well. All we know that there will be people in stage 3, 2. If you're in your very, very early days, maybe in stage 1, not necessarily though, but who? Okay. So Pawan says 2, Madhavi says 4, excellent. Madhavi, later on, I'd like to know which company. Alex says 4, excellent. Alex, I know. Phoenix is all about 4. I know 4. Alex, this company. 3, Rakesh. Sanjeev, 2. Anyone else? Anyone else? Keep going, keep going. Quite a few of you. Don't feel shy. Okay. So while you guys keep typing, I will stop the share and hand it over to my co-panelist. Uma Shankar, thank you. 4, excellent. So Uma, Madhvi, Rakesh, 3 and 4s. Excellent. Keep going, keep going.
I think there were 2 nice
Yes.
questions that came up. Rakesh, let me go back to the Rakesh asked this question a little while ago, or is this Sanjeev? Let me just see that. Okay. When this stage is expected, for which products, what size of company is expected? Let me not make you wait for a long time. I think the answers could be this way. Number one, there is competition in the marketplace. Number one. Number two, there are changes happening in the business. Either it could be new products coming in, upgrades coming in, new territories operating, new sales reps joining. Number three, the company has aspirations and ambitions to grow significantly higher. If I have a very simple product, one product, simple market, not much aspiration, as long as I grow normally, then I don't need anything actually. I can do that as well. So I think this is where we need to decide where we can fit in effectively. At some stage, we can have a good discussion with you, see how effective is it going to be for your context in a strong way, and recommend what is right for you as well. So thank you for this question, Rakesh. I think Alex asked a lovely question. What are the pitfalls of stage 5? Of course, there are pitfalls. The human salesperson needs to be aware of and avoid, yes, because when change happens of this dimension, we may not be even able to keep track of the change very quickly in the marketplace. Yes, ethics, hallucination, data privacy, disclosure, oh yes, etc. I think these are questions which is certainly we need to answer when we start building this. The only thing we have to be careful is that if I don't do, someone is also going to do that. Therefore, I have to do it, but I got to be aware of these things and do it in the right way. But lovely question, Alex. I think it's important to keep that in mind, definitely. Which means sales has to be sustainable. And if sales has to be sustainable, capability also has to be sustainable. Changing capability has to be sustainable. Capability of different dimensions have to be sustainable. Capability is not a static place. It is evolving constantly. And to do it on a sustainable basis is hard. And that's what the earlier era was trying to do in its best possible way. But today, that is not enough. So capability building on a sustainable basis is hard. But I mean, we all know this, but I'm going to just make it fairly simple. Capability building really actually has to become effective, influential, and sales leaders or capability leaders. I think there's a perfect, brilliant correlation. To reinforce some of these things, capability improves confidence. I don't think it requires even a discussion. Capability improves working methods. If I know how to do certain things better, I do it in a more efficient way. Absolutely. Capability improves outcome, because that is one thing which is in my control. Other things are not in my control, but capability is certainly in my control. I can do that very clearly. Capability improves efficiency, output by input, simple good old definition. Capability improves speed. These are my favorite words. I always tell my colleagues, everybody, my customers, the only way to do something faster is to improve the capability. Anything in the world you tell me, first time you start cooking, it takes half an hour. Second time, I can do it 20 minutes time. Great, if you look at great soccer players, great cricketers, great baseball players, they do a few things quickly because of capability. Look at tennis. I can anticipate a shot and return it beautifully because capability. And capability improves motivation, because if I am more capable, I have a better chance of achieving success. And therefore, I motivate her because I know that if I try something, it's work. The greatest factor to build motivation is capability. All other things are transient. Capability is permanent to build. Constant development of sustainable capability is a great way to motivate people as well. Interestingly, surprisingly, nicely, capability also improves behavior and consequently attitude as well. If I know how to do something well over a period of time, I start liking that part of the job a little better as well. Then I start doing it. Then my own perception about the job, my own attitude about the job definitely becomes a little better. Building the sustainable capability, continuously monitoring it, building it in a way required, rewarding capability on its own, building that competitive capability in a right way with all the ethical parts very nicely kept in mind. That's where I think Agentic AI is going to make a big difference. And if you see that, we build an empowered mindset which is central to business impact. If I can't improve someone's capability, I can't delegate. If I can't delegate, I can't empower. Empowerment is not a mere word on a PowerPoint. I got to build the capability and start delegation as well. That's where Agentic AI is going to make a difference to a lot of us, to the sales leaders here, to the L&D leaders here. Any leader for that matter is going to make a big difference as well. And it's going to change the very concept of speed, the concept of scale, and the concept of empowerment. This is going to redefine some of these factors very strongly as well. And they are not two different parallel paths. Like Rudyard Kipling said, east is west is west, the twain shall never meet. No, they're going to meet somewhere. The development and results have to be on a daily management level. They're going to be integrated. And that is what is being readiness. Readiness is integrating capability and results together in a continuous way. Build the power of science into this. Build the power of process into that. Because then you can build reliability, you can build consistency. And results are non-negotiable for all of us, including you and I. And how do we build this in a direct way? And finally, makes everyone feel freshly empowered in a new way in terms of capability, in terms of ability to do things, and be more central on contributing to the business impact. Then we are ready for tomorrow. We're ready for today. We're ready ever for changes happen, and we constantly evolve ourselves. But is it a walk in the park? Well, I wish it was, but it is not a walk in the park. We can just close my eyes and walk as well, as long as no animals in that. But I got to navigate this journey in a sharp, effective, strong, purposeful way as well. How do we navigate?
So
Roger?
let me come in now. And I want to share with you a perspective on navigating, because let me see, there we go. Because actually all that Jawahar and Ravi have said is about your role and the capability building. And one of the things that often doesn't get talked about or shared is the role of navigating all of these transitions that we've been talking about for almost the last hour. And it's an age of uncertainty because it's not clear where things are going, how fast they're going, and who's on board and who's not. So the most important question really is, are you going to shape the future, or will the future shape you? And what I want to share with you are some perspectives that will help you be in the driver's seat of the changes we're talking about, where you are shaping the future rather than being shaped by it. And one of the most important things that we see in these kinds of transitions is that they take time. And if you see on the left side, letting go is really difficult. Letting go of the way we've done things in the past means we have to move into an area where we're not as comfortable, where we're not as necessarily proficient, where we're going to need to develop skills and to develop ways of doing things that take us out of our comfort zone and take us out of what we see and have experienced as the way it's done here. The way it's done here is changing, and you need to change with it. And the constraints that we have are very significant because there are skills that AI can't replace. And in terms of innovation, with fewer options and boundaries and artificial limits. And I came across this book by David Epstein, The Constraints Make You More Creative. And I thought it was a wonderful perspective to share with you, because what we're talking about is the fact that the constraints cause you to look out of the box. They cause you to think differently. They cause you to not just grasp for the easy or first solution. And what drives this and why this is so important is if you have constraints, then you are almost, by definition, going to be challenged to become curious. Well, how am I going to move forward in this adopting and adapting process, given the constraints that I have? And so the fact is, within the constraints, it becomes the foundation for curiosity, for looking for ways that I can proceed within the constraints that I have. And that requires courage. It requires the courage to take the road less traveled. It takes courage to say, we're going to make this way and we're going to go this way. And to be courage to also accept that this is a process. This isn't an event. It's an ongoing process. Curiosity leads us to thinking about things that haven't been thought about before, and that takes courage. And the courage leads us to become creative. It pushes us into going into areas that maybe we haven't considered or thought about before. And that's essential in moving forward in this agentic domain that we're talking about. And fourth, compassion. Compassion for yourself. Curiosity leads to courage. Curiosity leads to courage. Courage leads to creativity. But you know what? Sometimes what we think about and come up with in a creative way may not work or may not be quite in the right domain. And it requires compassion, first of all, to yourself, and secondly, to your team. You've made a great effort and you've learned from it. It's not like everything we do is going to be a great success in the first moment. And that compassion is essential because it builds into the whole domain of having a communication within the team, within each other, and even within yourself about how do we move forward in this domain that's new and different and where the answers are not readily available. and where they're going to require us to be courageous, curious, creative, compassionate, and to share and communicate that with others. So, back over to Jawahar.
So, should we open it up and look forward to people's reactions, comments?
What are your insights, friends? What are your insights, friends? What
Or
are your
questions?
questions,
Questions.
reflections, agreement, disagreement? Absolutely fine.
Anyone? Alex?
Oh, Shashwati says, I think what Roger shared is very relatable. Yep. Okay. Compassion to ourselves is important. Yes. Very true. Very true. Very true. Yes.
Rakesh is asking how much and what pace is
Is
this
this
adoptable?
adaptable? Yes, Jawahar. Good question.
Well,
Yeah.
how fast was social media adopted? It is agentic, if you see. Mark Zuckerberg is not sitting there with a team of people posting what you need to see. It's algorithmic. It's agentic. Without even the word there, it's agentic. It's algorithmic, and that's what makes it sweep, right? All your social media paradigms are the same. Now, if they didn't take long, and the format was consistent, and the content was interesting, and if the objective was to entertain you, they did it, and India is on fire.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Rakesh, my insight is, having working with organizations across for many years now, and working with organizations in India, Europe, United States, Far East, my belief, and I've seen it happening, actually our adaptability, or probably I'll use the word adaptability to adopt, or adaptability to adopt, is significantly higher today. In fact, I find it in some other parts of the world less adaptable than ourselves, maybe because of demographics, or maybe because of necessity, or maybe because of desire to try something. I think it is higher. We probably have to ignite it and be on top. This is a great opportunity to be on top. But yes, there will be challenges on the way, no doubt about that.
It won't happen overnight. That steam engine to the electric motor and the processes, it won't happen overnight. And that's why these stages.
And it takes some time. Maybe that is where our impatience may be a challenge as well. While we are quick to adapt, we are also impatient at times. I think that's a natural trait in India, which we have to overcome that. I think Sanjeev has a question. Difficult to draw a line as the very deep words. As AI driving us, or we are driving AI, we need to be organized enough, friend of you. I agree with you, no doubt about it. If you ask me, Sanjeev, I think at the moment AI is driving us. I think we have to start driving AI. I agree with you. Definitely, you are right. I think that at least we can start understanding how to drive it a little better. But you are right, otherwise it is. It is possible to eat more than one stage at the same time out of the 5 stages.
Well, let me answer that, because I think
good question, Roger. Yes.
Because these are not discrete. It's not like you finish stage 1, wash your hands and say, good, we're done here. Let's now move to stage 2. And the real artistry of this transition is being able to move where it's most relevant and where the most pain is, so that you are bringing yourself and your team along. And as you move through it, I think it's a great question, because it is a journey, not an event. And journeys have ups and downs, and we go faster at sometimes and slower at other. And your role as a leader is to lead that journey, and to be humble and aware that everybody's going to move through this at a little bit different pace as well. And your task is to keep them all, to keep involved with all of them.
Yes. I think if I just add to what Roger said, almost all transitions in the world are not complete discrete transition. It is like sunrise and a sunset. It is like the clouds and the rain. It'll always be like that. Only thing is we need to be aware whether we are more closer to one or closer to two. And this is where, if my suggestion is, sometimes we dilute ourselves to say we are in two, but actually we are in one, but the transition is always there. It's always a transition, you are right.
In fact, we have a tool for any one of you who is interested to know what stage and what kind of dimensions are that you can take your action into. Is available. It's available online. What I can do is I can share it over here on chat, and later on we'll also send it across to you guys.
I think there are two nice questions, Jawahar. One is how to justify the ROI of the investment for conversion to AI. Second is, where is the room for peer learning or real market? Over to you.
Excellent. So from a ROI justification point of view, nothing happens overnight. So, for example, if you are able to solve your current pain point, and what are your current pain points? If your current pain point is to ensure that you drive engagement, if your current pain point is to drive and ensure that people are always up to date and ready, and if you are able to solve for that so that you are able to make people more effective, take only those paths ahead as module and make that change. That change will enable you to justify whatever you want, because it will make your today, don't think about tomorrow, it will make your today relevant, and it will make your today be more fruitful, right? So there are, and we will cover these things across the second and the third webinar. So be there with us, and we will tell you more about it.
Can I add something, Jawahar? I think one of the important things you can do is test it out, pilot it, test it out.
Absolutely.
Rapid experimentation. Do rapid experimentation. I think the word experimentation is important. It has to be rapid because we cannot wait for a long time. And of course, ROI is important. No doubt about that.
Yes, Ekta is asking a very, very nice question.
Yes, absolutely.
Where is the room for peer learning or real market sharing in this process, please? Yes. So, so it depends on how you deliver this, how you capture the feedback. So peer learning doesn't necessarily mean that there is a thread like Facebook and you're commenting on the thread and the whole world is able to. Peer learning could be that there is excellence in one particular aspect of handling objections, or some things have surfaced in a particular area first. You've been able to capture that and then amplify and send it across into the network for others to see, right? And others to actually learn from. That itself can be peer learning. That itself can amplify and fine tune. So obviously, you need to have a platform that enables you to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes. I just saw a message from Samantha as well. I think it may be a good idea for you to find out where you are. So I think once you write to us, we can send you a way to measure yourself as well and see how to move forward. Yes. Constraints, you make decision. It's very true, Nandini. If there are no constraints in the world, there are no decisions. Would you agree, Roger?
Absolutely.
If there's no constraint, there are no decisions. But leaders have to make decisions. That's why they are leaders. Yes.
And let me add to that, because this is what I was trying to come across. It's the constraints that lead to creativity and lead to looking at things differently rather than sticking into the old way that we've always done things. So the constraints actually are the birthplace of innovation.
Yes.
Given the limited resources, how are we going to make this work?
Yes. I'll probably say, Roger, thank God we have constraints.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Thank God you have constraints. Otherwise, it will be boring. We won't do anything better.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
Thank you
I
for
think,
that,
Jawahar,
Kanjilal.
you should tell the next date of the webinar. Just the date right now.
Yes.
And then
Yes. So there is a lot of excitement, and we will continue this journey with all of you. The two webinars that we have planned are fortnight away from each other. For the second one is about the evolving role of sales capability managers, and as you saw, a whole host of processes will change, and this is where we will deep dive a little more with Roger's framework. Roger is a renowned expert in the future of work and agents and human beings working together. So he has a lot of deep insights. So be there tuned in to listen to him more deeply in the webinar 2. And the webinar 3 is all about finding the silver bullet or bullets, because there are so many challenges in the current dimension. So how can agentic AI help overcome them, and how can we create attribution, ROI, all of it? Hope we'll be able to answer most of your questions, but this dialogue will continue.
Yeah.
That's it. And thank you very much.
thank you.
Yeah. I agree. I appreciate the questions and your engagement, and look forward to the continued dialogue within this group and with you, and for more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. See you soon on the next one.